And we're just gonna go with it. We're
Let's
gonna
just
go
fucking do
for
it.
it today. We hate it, but we have to do it. Let me just ask you, Andy, if the president or the Secretary of Defense like called something out about you in a tweet, because that's how we
Yeah,
litigate, govern today,
yeah,
tweets.
totally.
Would you not take that as a ultimate, I've reached the top of the mountain
Yeah,
in signs of like I have made it because I have played my part in calling this president and Secretary of Defense out?
yeah, yeah. If I can be publicly shamed by the president or Secretary Pete, yeah, for sure. That's when you know you're succeeding.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. If you get fired by, okay, I'm going to put this in two contexts here. So, if the president fires you, Kristi Noem and now Pam Bondi, that like we should expect something weird's going to come out in the next couple of days. If Puffer Pete fires you, fuck you. Like I am there. Mark Kelly was called out by the secretary, and look what happened here. He's failed. Like all these other admirals and generals have resigned,
Yeah,
and look where they stand now. Yesterday, Andy, the Secretary of Defense fired the Army, the head of the Army, the Chief of Staff of the Army, and two other generals. Like, fuck, man. Like, your career is an ultimate success.
yeah. If you're fired by Pete Hegseth, you are an American hero. You have done something
Yeah.
right where you've gotten under his extremely thin skin, frustrated him in defense of America or the organization that you're responsible for. And I would double down and bet that you've almost certainly been on the side of right in whatever issue Pete is pissed off about.
Yeah. My guess is that the Hegseth has promoting some sort of plan now that the army has not agreed with and says they do not like the army cannot say I do not support you. They can say this is how I think we can execute what mission you've given us or not execute that. And these are going to and it's that great. You remember the was it the movie Valkyrie? I can't remember which one with Hitler in it, and I think they're trying to kill Hitler. But he has all these people in there giving him the bad news about Berlin, and he goes rants off on everything. Well, there's a lot of memes about that now going on, but um, that's how I envision this kind of going down. The chairman and the Joint Chiefs of Staff are around with with Secretary of Defense, giving him the plans for Iran. And the Secretary of the Army said, like, look, this is what it's going to result in. He's like, I don't like what you say. Get the fuck out of here. You're fired.
Yeah,
You know, the
yeah.
ultimate hero, I think. So
Ultimate hero, ultimate hero. And Dave, I do have to say it is a little concerning. I mean, there's been different things said as to why the timing, issues about the secretary, the army secretary, having issues with the non-promotions and other personal issues with, the direction. But as we continue our mess in Iran, as there's still talk of the president wanting to send ground troops in, I have to wonder if that's not part of the backdrop to this conversation. And was the Army standing up to defend deliberate, thoughtful approaches to a potential ground invasion? I don't know that. I just have to wonder, was that part of the conversation?
I have to believe that's it, Andy. I have to believe that the Army's plan for what they're being asked to do did not line up with, oh, we're going to walk in and we're going to be called victors and
Yeah.
they're going to be waving American flags in the streets, Andy. That's what, so. All right, so we like I just have to believe like if like Bruce Springsteen was recently called out by the president, and like as a loser, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on. By the way, did you see Trump's new presidential library that he's promoting in downtown Miami?
Yeah. It's going to be spectacular.
What a fucking clown. What a fuck, these guys live in a fucking a different world, man. Different world. So, okay, Andy, the big news of yesterday was as my dog is now in camera.
Fully engaged. Fully engaged.
Your dog is hacking up lungs in the background. My dog likes to be on camera.
Great.
So, um, but And the big news yesterday was Pam Bondi. The Pam Bondi of the Dow is 50,000. The S&P is 7,000. How dare you? You should all be thanking Donald Trump. You
Yeah.
guys are losers. That Pam Bondi is now the ultimate loser, Andy, because you've said this before, but she was fired yesterday. Unlike Kristi Noem, who's given some token ambassadorship as like a special envoy. Pam Bondi was ushered to the private sector to do something undefined. Basically, we got rid of her. We don't give a fuck what she's going to do. And now she's going to realize, oh shit, like who's going to want me now? Now, surely somebody will. Some Alex Jones type will want her. Well, maybe not, because she didn't release the Epstein files, so they
Right.
failed MAGA hardcores. Like the reckoning is coming for these individuals, Andy.
It is. I mean, there's so many ways to go discussing Pam Bondi's dismissal. Who knows where she might end up in some Trump loyalist legal outfit or something along those lines. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't really care. But it is worth pausing. In an administration full of incompetence, right? Full of incompetence. I mean, you can fire everybody, right? I mean, America would be grateful if you fired everybody. Worth just pausing and noting the whitest and malest cabinet of our lifetimes is now a little bit more male because he's fired his two senior female cabinet members, right? So just worth noting that when it comes to chopping off heads, women first, women first, right? Just worth noting that, right? So we're a little bit more
She was a
masculine.
DEI hire anyways, Andy.
DI hire, fucking nobody wanted a chick in that job. Are you kidding me? They can't. A woman leading law enforcement? Come on, that's impossible. That's impossible. Such bullshit, man. So now, no, Pam Bondi had to go. She has been terrible for the country, right? But it's also worth noting. I don't know if you're going to go here next. So I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but following maybe the worst presidential speech I've ever seen in my lifetime, the lowest energy, meaningless speech I've ever seen in my lifetime as I sat and actually, for one of the few occasions I've bothered to watch the president speak live, after that absolute embarrassment of a speech that he gave, after Iran's response was completely counter to the president's comments, to wake up the next day to finally say, well, I'm going to fire Pam Bondi today. Just interesting, the timing. I mean, just interesting that we changed the story because I mean, low energy Trump was a humiliating thing to watch. So let's fire Pam Bondi today. And again, not saying they're related. I don't know. I don't know what goes on in the mind of that man, but just interesting timing. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I'm glad Pam Bondi's gone. She's been an embarrassment to this country, an embarrassment to DOJ, DOJ, the FBI, the DEA. They deserve better leadership. I don't know if they're going to get it. I don't know who this deputy guy is, but I mean, Dave, he's a man, so he's got to be more competent, right?
Oh, you don't know who Todd Blanche is,
I
Andy?
don't know Todd Blanche. I don't
He
know.
was Trump's personal attorney. That's who Todd Blanche was.
I
Like
didn't know that. That's
no
a that's
shit.
a
Like no shit. He was his personal attorney, defended him in several cases. So like this is like yeah. I mean he's acting now, but there's no reason to believe he won't be the attorney general shortly.
oh
Um,
that well, I mean, look, and one that's news to me, ignorance on me, but it makes sense for a president who sees the DOJ as his law
his
team.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense that his personal lawyer is now in charge of his law team. It makes sense. Dave, when accountability finally comes, it is going to be like fucking chocolate cheesecake, man. It is going to be so delicious when these heads come rolling, man, because there's so much corruption in this administration, you know.
Yeah.
So
But
good
there's a
grief,
lot of ways
man.
I want to go, and we're going to have to spend 2 seconds on this. But again, you talk about accountability, Andy. Look at Kristi Noem right now. Like she's going through a personal like crisis right now with her husband, who's been outed as, I don't know what you call what he's been doing online,
Bimbofication, Dave. Bimbofication.
bimbofication. Okay, you know, she's going through a lot, right? All things that she has inflicted on other people
Yeah,
now is facing her, and she wants peace for her family.
yeah.
Like, fuck you. Like you get to now experience all the like everything that was that you supported and you pushed hard against and you did this. Now you face that internally. Look, I mean, Pam Bondi, look, there are things, it's going to come out. She has to go back in front of Congress. She's been subpoenaed. It doesn't matter that now she's a private citizen. She's going back in Congress in 2 weeks. And it's going to be like, let's see the tone now, Andy, of what happens now that she doesn't have the presidential immunity clause or protection. But let's go back to this speech, Andy, on I think it was Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Or was it Wednesday night?
Wednesday night, Wednesday night.
Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Um, we talked in the pod. I had thought he was going to get on and say combat operations are over. We declare victory, like blah blah blah. I was fully committed to that. And you're right. I was wrong. It was a nothing burger. It was
Yeah.
him getting up for 25 minutes, however short it was. It was him getting up there and just rambling on jumping from things to things. If you're Trump's speechwriter, where do you fucking go with some of this bullshit? But clearly this can't be, it must be Stephen Miller writing all this stuff because he said nothing about like combat operations will end in 2 to 3 weeks and we're going to bomb them back into the Stone Age where they belong.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
So some of the language is like questionably like war crime type language. Actually, he's not talking about the administration or the military. Like he speaks about the nation of Iran when he speaks. Like he threatens the country, the nation within. This is there are rules to war, right? There are rules to war. There's a Geneva Convention. Like there are norms, and this president and his administration they do not care. And again, accountability. There can and should be accountability at some point here. This administration acts like it will stay in place forever. It will not, even if Donald Trump is successful in holding on to his presidency, his third elected term, according to him, because he's won every election. Eventually, this man will pass away, and all these freaking cum drops, all these little Donald Trump, put it in my mouth, let me swallow you whole cum drops that are around him, they're going to be held to account for the rest of their lives for what they've done to this country. But that speech, Dave, I mean, it was awful. He said nothing. He basically just read his social media posts off. Short war, other presidents are idiots. We're doing it right. The rest of the world is scared and they're watching us. Rah, rah. It was the lowest energy pep rally I've ever had to watch. And he said nothing. He said nothing. His favorite line, 2 weeks, right? He gets mocked for almost as much as taco antics. Everything happens in 2 weeks with this man. And just the same, he needs 2 weeks to continue this military operation. No specificity, no clarity. Finally trying to make the case for his war a month in. Convince nobody. His poll numbers are worse now than they were before. Now, they might not be related. The polls were probably taken a little bit before the speech, but his numbers are record lows. That speech, I mean, good grief. Talk low energy. Give the guy a Red Bull before he goes out and speaks to the nation. Give him a little juice. He came out there like Grandpa was up way too late tweeting last night. He had no energy, said nothing of substance. It was terrible. It was terrible. And I mean, again, as we sit here with the firing we started this conversation out with the Army, going into Easter weekend, like we may be looking at a ground assault as part of Easter weekend, and this president did nothing to justify or explain what the hell we're doing, Dave. It was tragic leadership from the commander in chief.
Well, it'd be classic Hegseth crusade type of thing
Absolutely. Yeah.
to lead an attack on one of the islands in on Easter to the last of the Crusades, Andy. We're gonna finish this fight,
That's right. That's right.
and take
Yeah.
it to those heathens, those Persians,
Yeah.
Muslims, get rid of them. It's just I tell you, like this is just clown after clown after clown. And it is like you mentioned his polling numbers. They're at record lows. We have a jobs report that's going to come out. So I think it might be today. It might show some stability, but again, Andy, that like that was taken on month-old data. So what are we going to see as this continues to go and go? Oil is at $112 a barrel, and such, and these are just not sustainable. If you really look at the economic pressures that are going to occur from just another 2 weeks, it's going to carry over for time and time again. Because Andy, what they have not still got a plan for or any intention of solving is that grenade they lobbed in the room, which is the Strait of Hormuz.
Yep,
That is where, like, we started a war, we didn't plan for how to finish it, and now we're going to face the repercussions of this. Trump can say every day we don't need that oil. It's a lie, folks. It's a lie. We do need a lot, not just that oil transitioning through, all those other goods and services that come through
that's right.
that support American businesses, and that money just rolls to us. So, like, unfortunately, like the tariffs things, he can't claim we're bringing any money in because of it. And so this is just a disaster. And Andy, the other thing we didn't mention is we, for the first time ever, had a sitting president sit in on the Supreme Court oral arguments. Andy, what a fucking, like, as if he's going to intimidate the judges. He said, Andy, that those judges owe him victories because he appointed them.
Yeah, yeah. Dave, I mean that's a whole nother like. It just opens so many places to go. I
I
mean,
know.
yes, the Strait
You
of Hormuz.
can't.
Yes,
It's just too many.
it's so like we need it. Like yes, we need it. Like we have critical services that are supported because of products that come through the strait. Critical technology, critical supplies that we rely upon to build things here in this country besides oil. Like there's more to it than that. The UK is taking lead supposedly in putting together a coalition to work through that. But we throw the grenade. We don't care about the effect. Everything this president does, short-sighted, no appreciation for consequences, goes to the Supreme Court. Dave, the ACLU handed this administration its ass. They humiliated this administration. There is no justification for what they're doing. The justices almost uniformly shit all over the administration's efforts here. It's just a matter of like, how are we going to shoot this down? Humiliating for the president to go and try and intimidate the justices of the Supreme Court. They don't give a shit at this point. He's got a couple loyalists that are, on board with Team Trump that he didn't appoint, and then the rest of the team is just saying come on, come on. It's just unbelievable, right? You open the news on any day, and it's just chaos and chaos and court case and court case. We're talking about the president's ballroom. We're talking about firing people. We're talking about war. We're talking about assaults on Americans and residents in this country. It is absolute fucking chaos. And the president wants then to nationalize the voter rolls. I mean, there's just so many places to go in the violations and arrogance of this administration. Like we don't have enough time to talk about it all, but the American people are showing that they have had enough, Dave. I mean, the poll numbers are horrendous. They're not going to get better. They're not going to get better.
Yeah, and Andy, I guess I should ask this question too, is like, where's the Board of Peace in all of this, Andy? Where's their statement about the Iran war? I'd be
Yeah,
interested.
we're bringing peace through war, like you said. Onwards with the crusade, Dave. Onwards with the crusade.
I really hate that we have to keep talking about these things, but again, this is the dominating news. This is the crisis of a lifetime here or generation.
It is.
Unlike things we've seen before, it's a threat driven from within. And this is what look, people, like this is why it's so important to be informed voters.
Yeah.
And look, like Kamala Harris was not a great candidate.
No.
She did not have a winning argument to be made to America, but Trump has a proven track record. And we looked at it and said, yeah, but maybe it's not Kamala. We don't need Joe Biden anymore. Like, God, I wish I had Joe Biden some more.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, All right, Andy, we have to wrap up our week. It's sad this is a week because it's Holy Week for many members of faith around the world. Celebrate a variety of different faith-based activities. It's Easter Sunday this week, it's Palm Sunday or Good Friday today for those who celebrate look at that day. So let's talk likes, dislikes this week because there were a lot of other things happening. So, God, there's so much to fucking dislike,
So
Andy.
much, so
So,
much.
so much, but let's start with it first. Andy, do you have a dislike or you want me to go first, Andy?
You please go first, Dave. Please go first.
Okay, my dislike is staying on this Trump theme here, Andy, because I mentioned Holy Week, I mentioned a lot of faith-based activities. The president had some faith-based groups with him this week,
Yeah,
and the individuals involved, one of the faith-based leaders, I can't remember her name, but she's been a shit show from the beginning. She compared Donald Trump to Jesus Christ. She said he'd been falsely accused, he'd been persecuted, and he rose again, Andy.
that's right. That's right. Thank you, our Lord and Savior, Dave. And her name is Paula White, and you should respect her because she's telling the truth, man. She's speaking the truth as she lays hands on Donald Trump. Why wouldn't you like it? Why wouldn't you celebrate this?
Does she go home at night and be like, "Oh, I sold that line really well." Like, or does she go home at night and be like, look at the idol of Trump that she's got in her, main lobby or foyer or whatever, and just bow down to the idol? Or what do you think happens there? Because this is just downright like embarrassing. Like she looks like a tool.
Yeah, I mean it's disgusting for any person of faith, I think. I mean, I know there's some that are on board with this. There's some that are on board with this. There are some that do see parallels in Trump and Christ, and for that small minority of humans that can somehow balance that and equate Donald Trump in any level with Jesus Christ and then speak to the nation and publicly and make that comparison, like sleep well, my friends. Sleep well as you humiliate everything that the Bible speaks to. Sleep well. Sleep well. It's disgusting.
Yeah. So that's my dislike of the week. Where are you going to go with yours, Andy?
Dave, I'll stick in a similar realm. I was tempted just to go with the president's speech because honestly, it was absolutely awful. I mean, it was 10 minutes of pain to watch low energy Trump go. It was terrible. But somehow even more disgusting, maybe even more disgusting. Lindsey fucking Graham, man who is so cheerful to send our sons and daughters to war, Venezuela, Iran, Cuba's next, so willing to send Americans to die for his glory, right? Fucking off in Disney World this week, right? Holding his little Barbie toy device, looking like an absolute idiot, right? Going off and having fun while Congress is not doing their jobs, while Americans are deploying to potential combat operations in Iran. So gross. So gross. These people do not take war seriously. They do not take American lives seriously. They certainly don't take foreign lives seriously. And as they lead this assault on everything that America is about, our friends, our allies, and humans around the world, sending Americans to fight and die for this country, fucking douchebag Lindsey Graham's off in Disney World. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Fuck you is something big and thick and painful. Like brutally fuck you, Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, I mean this is the look, people of South Carolina, like I I I I don't know what else to say to you. The guy makes the argument for why he's unfit to continue to serve. Now, I know he may have his fingers in the scope of everything South Carolina, but fucking stand up for yourself. You deserve better than Lindsey Graham. Put somebody else in, like the people you can actually respect and admire. And while you're suffering, just remember that picture of him at Disneyland or Disney World, wherever he was,
Wherever he was, yeah.
where he's committing and rallying up this war effort so that he can so go enjoy himself. And while you're trying to make sure you're paying the bills, Lindsay's there celebrating himself. So. Okay, Annie, let's turn to likes of the week. There's a couple things I was gonna go with. We talked, I like the generals getting fired because I believe that they were standing up for themselves. So I kind of like that. I like the excitement the country felt around the Artemis 2 launch
Yeah,
and the mission going
yeah,
around moon. Now, a lot of people will argue like, hey, if we've got money to do this, like we can't help ourselves here. I get it, but I am a proponent of scientific research and I do believe there's value in these things. I would much prefer we don't have a war spending $200 billion when that money can be used for health care, health insurance, and all this other stuff. So I like that as well. But I think what I like the most, Andy, is I'm going to look ahead to this weekend, and it is Easter Sunday.
yeah.
And for a lot of members of faith, it's a very significant day of, Jesus rising from the dead and celebrating the resurrection of Jesus. Now, I know that's not a faith served by all and whatnot, but what the larger connotation is like rebirth and like spring coming and new energy and life coming about. And that's what I like about this week, Andy, because I do believe America, we have a rebirth coming. We have a rebirth in us, and we have to come together now, which we are doing, coming together against this administration. And so that's what I like about this week. I like like what this weekend is going to signal for us. It's going to signal like that rebirth, and that's where I'm going. I mean, maybe it's a loose connection, Andy, but I feel that way.
I like that, Dave. I appreciate it. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to celebrate Easter in some respects, given everything happening around us. Like it's hard to fully appreciate the idea of the resurrection of Christ and all that's supposed to mean and point towards amid everything that's happening in this country right now. And what's certainly going to be some disgusting statements made on Easter Sunday from the
Yeah.
administration, right? So, but I'm with you. I celebrate it. I celebrate it, and we should again. While we get so consumed with all things gross and Trump, like we have to celebrate the good. And Easter is it's the holy day, right? It is the holy day. It's a big deal, for all believers, and it's awesome. So we should reflect. And I do appreciate the parallel to sort of a national resurrection because may we come through this trial and find our way back onto a path where America, even though it's going to be hard, can rebuild and lead and be seen as a leader and friend to the world again. May we be so fortunate. It's going to be tough work, but hey, it wasn't easy to rise from the grave either.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Where are you going to go with your like of the week, Andy?
I'm going to go somewhere totally different. I'm going to go back to my safe place. I'm going to go to music, Dave, because I
Oh,
love
there
it.
you go.
I'm looking to new music coming out today. I'm excited to dive into it. Last week, I stumbled onto a pop duo, Dave.
Hmm.
Absolutely crazy sound. Hot and Freddie
Millie
released an
Vanilli?
album. What's that?
Millie Vanilli? Nelson?
No, not Milli Vanilli. These folks are actually singing. Both of them have a long history of writing in support of other artists. They came together. They're an actual couple, and they came together to make music together. And it's just it's somewhere between like 1800s goth meets 1980s pop synth sound. It's wild. It's crazy. It's fun. A couple good singles on the album, but the whole album is just sort of just fun to take in. You feel like you're being transported back somewhere into the 80s, but with a modern edge to it. They're dressed up, they're having a good time. It's just good music and it's enjoyable. And one of the wonderful things about music is it can be an escape from the chaos and things around us. And this just sort of transports you in a fun place. I've had it playing on and off all week along with other music I've been enjoying. Really good, really good. So I appreciate the sound. Check it out. I'll share a link with the show notes when we post today. Like it's just something to enjoy. Lots of good new music coming out, things to look forward to. Like we've got to celebrate the goods along as we recognize all the bads. And there's so much bad. Like I'll take the wins. And Dave, we
Yeah.
didn't even touch sports. NCAA tournament. I mean, we've got to even touch sports.
It will, yeah, we didn't touch sports. That's fair. So no, good one, Andy. I think that's good. I like wrapping up on the likes of the week. I mean, it's been so much to dislike this week. But we'll get through this together. Again, national unity against a common cause, Andy, here, so maybe we'll get there. Okay, next week's going to be a funky week. We're not sure how we're going to manage next week, everyone. I am taking some days off, but I always try to pod. I'll have to see how the schedule goes, but we'll work through it together, Andy.
We'll
We'll work
work
through
through it together, Dave. We are, and I'm back on the road for the next couple of weeks, so we'll sort it out. But we had a couple of folks reach out and check in, Dave, and we didn't pod Monday. We had a couple of folks reach out and check in, so I appreciated that as well. So thanks always for people's concern and support.
There we go. There we go. So I always, it makes you feel good when people are like, "Hey, everything okay?" Why I was looking forward to my pod and I didn't
Yeah.
get it. So. All right, with that, everyone, we will catch up with you. I'm hoping Monday.